proposal addresses a potential ambiguity in National Electrical Code, NEC Figure 230.1, specifically concerning the term source. The current figure uses the word source near the top, which the proposal suggests should be replaced with serving utility. The core argument rests on the definition of service within the NEC. By definition, the service is supplied exclusively from the serving utility. The use of source, a broader and less precise term, can lead to misinterpretations and incorrect application of Article 230. The proposal seeks to clarify that Article 230 specifically applies to feeders originating from the serving utility and not from any generic electrical source. The substantiation for this change hinges on preventing confusion and ensuring the proper application of NEC Article 230. The term source is not explicitly defined within the NEC. This lack of a clear definition allows for a wide range of interpretations. It could be construed to encompass any source of electrical energy, including generators, solar panels, wind turbines, or other on-site power generation systems. Consequently, individuals might incorrectly apply Article 230, which is designed for utility-supplied services to feeders powered by these alternative sources. This misapplication is problematic because the requirements outlined in Article 230 are specifically tailored for the characteristics and configurations of utility-supplied electrical services. Applying them to other types of power sources may not be appropriate or safe. The proposed revision aims to eliminate this ambiguity by explicitly limiting the scope of Article 230 to feeders that are supplied by the serving utility. This targeted clarification will ensure that the requirements of Article 230 are applied correctly and consistently. It will also prevent the inappropriate application of these requirements to feeders that are powered by other sources, thereby enhancing electrical safety and code compliance. Let's delve deeper into why this distinction is important. The NEC is a comprehensive document, but its effectiveness relies on precise language and clear definitions. Ambiguity can lead to misinterpretations, which can have serious consequences in electrical installations. The term source in the existing Figure 230.1 introduces such ambiguity. Consider a building with both utility power and a backup generator. If the word source is used, it could be interpreted that Article 230 applies equally to the utility feed and the generator feed. However, this is not the intent of the code. Article 230 is specifically designed to address the service entrance from the utility. Generator systems have their own specific requirements within the NEC, often covered in Article 700 and related sections. The characteristics of utility power and generator power are different. Utility power is typically a stable, high-capacity source with specific grounding and protection requirements. Generator power, on the other hand, might have different voltage regulation characteristics, grounding schemes, and protection needs. Applying Article 230 indiscriminately to both sources could lead to improper installation practices and potentially compromise safety. By replacing source with serving utility, the NEC clearly delineates the scope of Article 230. It leaves no room for doubt that this article applies only to the service entrance conductors and equipment that originate from the utility company. This distinction is crucial for ensuring that electrical installations are performed in accordance with the correct code requirements. Furthermore, the term serving utility aligns more closely with the definition of service in Article 100 of the NEC. Article 100 defines the service as the conductors and equipment that deliver electrical energy from the serving utility to the wiring system of the premises. This definition reinforces the idea that the service is the connection point between the utility and the customer's electrical system. Using the term serving utility in Figure 230.1 is consistent with this definition and helps to maintain clarity throughout the code. The implications of this change extend to various aspects of electrical installations, including firstly, service entrance conductor sizing. Article 230 provides specific rules for determining the appropriate size of service entrance conductors based on the load requirements of the building. These rules are based on the assumption that the power source is the utility company and that the conductors will be carrying a continuous load. If Article 230 were to be applied to feeders supplied by other sources, such as generators, the conductor sizing calculations might not be appropriate. Generator systems often have different load profiles and may not be designed to carry a continuous load for extended periods. Secondly, overcurrent protection. Article 230 also outlines requirements for overcurrent protection of service entrance conductors. These requirements are designed to protect the conductors from overloads and short circuits that could occur on the utility side of the service. Applying these requirements to feeders supplied by other sources might not provide adequate protection. For example, a generator system might require different types of overcurrent protection devices or different settings to properly protect the equipment and conductors. Thirdly, grounding. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. Article 230 specifies grounding requirements for service entrance equipment and conductors. These requirements are based on the need to establish a low impedance path to ground for fault currents. Applying these grounding requirements to feeders supplied by other sources might not be appropriate. The grounding requirements for generator systems, for example, may differ from those for utility services. Proper grounding is essential for preventing electrical shock hazards and ensuring the safe operation of electrical equipment. Fourthly, disconnecting means. Article 230 requires a service disconnecting means to be installed at a readily accessible location. This disconnecting means allows the entire electrical service to be de-energized for maintenance or emergency purposes. The requirements for service disconnecting means are specific to utility-supplied services. Applying these requirements to feeders supplied by other sources might not be practical or necessary. For example, a generator system might have its own dedicated disconnecting means that is designed for the specific characteristics of the generator. Fifthly, surge protection. Surge protection is becoming increasingly important to protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage surges. Article 230 includes requirements for surge protection devices at the service entrance. These requirements are based on the assumption that the primary source of surges is the utility company. Applying these requirements to feeders supplied by other sources might not be appropriate. The surge protection needs for generator systems or other alternative power sources may differ from those for utility services. The proposal to replace source with serving utility in Figure 230.1 is a subtle but significant change that has far-reaching implications for electrical safety and code compliance. By clarifying the scope of Article 230, the NEC can prevent misinterpretations and ensure that electrical installations are performed in accordance with the correct code requirements. This change will benefit electrical contractors, engineers, inspectors, and anyone else who works with the NEC. It will also help to improve the overall safety and reliability of electrical systems. In summary, the existing NEC Figure 230.1 uses the term source, which is considered too broad and undefined. The proposal suggests replacing it with serving utility to align with the definition of service in Article 100 and to prevent the misapplication of Article 230 to non-utility power sources like generators or solar panels. The substantiation emphasizes that source lacks a clear definition, leading to potential confusion and incorrect application of the code. The proposed revision clarifies that Article 230 applies only to feeders supplied by the serving utility, ensuring correct application of the code and enhancing electrical safety. The correct application of the NEC is important for safety and code compliance. Failing to follow the NEC can result in unsafe electrical systems, which can lead to fires, electrical shocks, and other hazards. The NEC is not intended to be a design manual, but it provides minimum requirements for electrical safety. It is the responsibility of qualified electrical professionals to design and install electrical systems that meet the requirements of the NEC and other applicable codes and standards. Continuing the discussion, let's consider some specific examples of how the misinterpretation of source could lead to problems. Firstly, imagine a data center with a large backup generator system. If an electrician mistakenly believes that Article 230 applies to the generator feeders, they might incorrectly size the conductors or install inappropriate overcurrent protection. This could lead to the generator system being unable to carry its intended load or being susceptible to damage from overloads or short circuits. Secondly, consider a residential solar panel installation. If an installer applies Article 230 to the feeders connecting the solar panels to the main service panel, they might install a service disconnecting means that is not suitable for the direct current (DC) voltage of the solar panels. This could create a safety hazard and prevent the system from being properly disconnected in an emergency. Thirdly, imagine a commercial building with a combined heat and power (CHP) system. If an electrical inspector incorrectly interprets source to include the CHP system, they might require the building owner to install service entrance equipment that is not necessary or appropriate for the CHP system. This could add unnecessary costs to the project and delay its completion. These examples illustrate the importance of using precise language in the NEC and avoiding ambiguity that could lead to misinterpretations. By replacing source with serving utility, the NEC can reduce the risk of these types of errors and ensure that electrical installations are performed safely and correctly. The proposal to revise Figure 230.1 is a proactive step towards improving the clarity and usability of the NEC. It demonstrates a commitment to continuous improvement and a focus on preventing errors that could compromise electrical safety. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and industry practices. This ongoing revision process is essential for ensuring that the NEC remains relevant and effective in protecting people and property from electrical hazards. In addition to the specific arguments presented in the proposal, there are other reasons why the term serving utility is more appropriate than source of Figure 230.1. Firstly, the term serving utility is widely understood within the electrical industry. Electrical professionals are familiar with the concept of a serving utility and the role it plays in providing electrical service to customers. The term source, on the other hand, is more generic and could refer to any number of different entities or systems. Secondly, the term serving utility implies a specific legal and contractual relationship between the utility company and the customer. The serving utility is responsible for providing reliable electrical service to the customer and for maintaining the electrical infrastructure that delivers the service. This relationship is governed by various laws, regulations, and agreements that define the rights and responsibilities of both parties. The term source does not imply any such relationship. Thirdly, the term serving utility is consistent with the terminology used in other parts of the NEC. For example, Article 100 defines service in terms of the serving utility. Using the same terminology throughout the NEC helps to maintain consistency and avoid confusion. In conclusion, the proposal to replace source with serving utility in NEC Figure 230.1 is a well-reasoned and necessary change that will improve the clarity, accuracy, and usability of the NEC. It will help to prevent misinterpretations, reduce the risk of errors, and enhance electrical safety. This change is a testament to the ongoing efforts to improve the NEC and ensure that it remains a valuable resource for electrical professionals and the public. While the change itself appears minor, its impact on the proper application and understanding of Article 230 is substantial. The proposed change is more than just a cosmetic update to a diagram. It represents a significant clarification of the code's intent and scope. By using the term serving utility, the NEC clearly establishes the boundaries of Article 230 and prevents its misapplication to systems and equipment that are not part of the utility service. This clarification is essential for ensuring that electrical installations are performed in accordance with the correct code requirements and that electrical systems are safe and reliable. The process of revising the NEC is a collaborative effort that involves input from a wide range of stakeholders, including electrical contractors, engineers, inspectors, manufacturers, and other interested parties. This collaborative approach helps to ensure that the NEC reflects the best practices in the electrical industry and that it is responsive to the needs of its users. The proposal to revise Figure 230.1 is a good example of how this collaborative process works in practice. The proposal was submitted by an experienced electrical professional who recognized a potential ambiguity in the NEC and proposed a solution. The proposal is then reviewed by a committee of experts who considered the merits of the proposal and ultimately recommended that it be adopted. This process ensures that changes to the NEC are carefully considered and that they are based on sound technical principles. This careful consideration and collaborative approach are what make the NEC a trusted and respected code that is used throughout the United States and around the world.